Hi guys. Okay, I'm going to be I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about positive and negative space. When you think about positive and negative, you think about emotions, right? Sad and happy. But for art, it's actually the spacing of something. Positive space is the object that you want to be focused on in your piece. But negative space is the background behind it. It's what's around me is negative space. I'm positive and what's around me is negative. But when you look at something like this, it's a little bit more interesting, right? When you see this, do you see a vase or two faces? If you see the vase, then that's your positive space. But if you do see the vase, then the faces, this black area, that is your negative space. If you see the faces, you're positive. If you see the faces, then your white is your negative space. So that's just a little fun thing to do because two faces make a vase. Okay, but for my activity, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a star, right? So this is a little play on positive and negative space. So what you see is, this is your negative, but this is also your negative, and this is your positive, and that's your positive. So that's what we're going to be making, something a little like this. You can make whatever shape you want. It doesn't matter. It can be a heart. It could be a bug, whatever you want to do. So all we need is a half black sheet of paper and white paper. And then what we're going to be using on this is glue, scissors, a pencil. But for this, so you guys can see, I'm going to be using a white crayon. Crayons, markers, whatever you want. It could even be watercolor if you have it. So first, I'm going to start with my black paper, right? I'm going to think about the shape I want to draw. And really think about a good shape, because what we're going to be doing is I'm going to draw a line, and my pencil is not going to lift off, or my crayon is not going to lift off the page. I'm going to make one consistent line. So for this, I'm going to make a heart. And I'm just going to make half of my heart. See, when I did my star, I only did half of my star when I drew it. So for my heart, I only drew half a heart. So if you do something like a circle, it's only going to be a half circle, right? So I have half my heart, and I'm going to cut it out next. So cut out whatever shape you have. And like I said, this could be anything. You could make half a butterfly if you want. But the idea is to just think about what is positive and what is negative space. When you look at an image, say the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa herself, the woman in the photo, she is the positive space in that image, right? And her background is her negative space. It's like if you take a picture of maybe your dog. Your dog is at positive space and the background is at negative space, right? So once you have it cut out, I'm going to place it on my page and make sure it lines up pretty well. And that means I did a good job on cutting. So I have that down, right? And I'm going to set it aside. So I'm setting aside my heart. And next, I'm just going to color. And like I said, you can use whatever. If you have watercolor, if you have markers, whatever you would like to use. So for this, I'm going to use some yellow. And I'm just going to make little just different coloring spots. So I'm going to do a spot of yellow. And I'm going to kind of blend that in with my orange that I'm using here. And I'm just going to kind of color around. Getting different colors in there is good. But I want to make sure I can see my heart. So make sure you use lighter colors. So I'm going to continue coloring. Just going to do a bunch of it. And if you do watercolor, try to only use 3 colors. That way it doesn't get all blended together and a little muddied. So that way you can see what you have cut out on your black piece of paper. So it's a clear outline of what you're doing. So I have my piece of paper colored, and now I'm going to replace it back on there, and I'm going to try to line it up as best I can. So corner to corner. And then when you're lining this up, make sure you try to line up where you stopped cutting and where you began, okay? So it's going to make that shape of a heart, right? It's going to make that positive space. So now I'm going to glue it down. And you can use tape, you can use any type of glue that you have at home, whatever you have at hand is perfect. And one thing you want to make sure is that you get all the edges down because you don't want them to stick up. Now I'm going to do my other side. So on this one, I'm going to make sure I really get my sides down. There we go. And there it is. So you guys, if you guys would like to try this and you want to post it on social media, hashtag MCM at home so we can see it. Have a good one.